It's Friday night, just past midnight. Most of the world sleeps, but not you, not me. We are awake. It is a sleepless hour when silence weighs heavier and the skin of the world feels thin. The loom waits before me, its threads damp with mist. Besides it rests a small, worn bear, seam softened by time. One dull button eye holding its quiet watch, a guardian for those who listen when the dark leans close. Tonight, the thread runs south through jungle and rain to Chitwan, to the Narayani, the old Gandaki, broad-shouldered, thick with silt, carrying the breath of mountains to the plains. They say a temple once stood on her banks. They say floods took it, but a river does not forget. It only buries. Settle in. If you have tea, warm your hands around it. Hold the little bear a little closer. We are going to the water. People speak of the Narayani as if she were alive, because she is. In monsoon, she swells, ash-brown and urgent, testing her banks, chewing at stone, lifting whole trees and carrying them like twigs. In the dry months, she lowers her voice, revealing bars of gravel and the old bones of bridges. Where she touches rock, the sound is rasp. Where she turns in depth, the sound vanishes and the jungle leans to listen. On her steps in Devgat, lamps are set afloat, small boats of oil and flame sliding out into current, like stars that chose the earth. Hands lift, heads bow, names are spoken into the water. The living ask the river to carry what is too heavy to carry alone. The old ones say, do not taunt a river. Do not name her shallow when she is only rising. Do not point at her banks and forget how far she has reached before. If you stand long enough and let the silt settle around your ankles, you feel it, the patience of water, older than your breath, older than your village walls. She remembers former beds, former turns, former shrines. She remembers the temple you think is gone. Other vanished temples. Nepal and India keep lists of places the water has taken. Shrines felled by landslides, altars swallowed when the banks failed. Devgat holds the confluence like a palm, where the Narayani meets the old streams, where ash is given to flow towards freedom. Malikalika stands above the floodplains, a sentinel, as if the hills itself were raised to spare her. So the story of the Narayani temple does not stand alone. It joins a chain, holy places rising, falling, remembered in whispers that kneel and pass from mouth to mouth. Listen, the river carries the old cry. They tell of Gajendra Moksha, the great elephant taken by the Garha, the crocodile that rose from the mud and seized his leg. The herd thundered, the bank broke, the water closed, strength meeting nothing in the pull of the depth. So the elephant lifted a lotus and called for help with the last of his breath. Vishnu, come! The chain broke. That is the story. But storms teach another echo. And as I said earlier, a river does not forget, it only buries. Local voices. One boatman swears he saw lamps under the water. A child points to a blank stretch of mud and whispers she hears temple bells. An old woman warns, "Never sit with your feet towards the river. It is impolite to point your heels at what has borne your dead." You remember the night you were stranded. Canoes drawn up, rain like nails, a cabin waiting, as if it had been set out before you. Damp boards, a chipped teacup, drops from your shirt, sounding like counting. Silence pressing on your eardrums until you thought you had gone deaf. Something heavy with river moving along the roofline. Your hand found the little bear and held tight. At the Ghat, they say Shita split stone. Downriver, Mulakalika stands watch. Between them, the valley is a corridor of sanctuaries, built, broken, remembered in bells. The Garha, demon of the deep, was never slain, only chained. Each monsoon loosens a link. The temple's fleeting return is not blessing, but warning. Forbidden knowledge. Some say the temple was never lost, only lowered beneath the water to guard what could not be left on land. A priest dreamed of torches burning in a nave lit by silt. A boy stepped into dusk water and did not return. The net lay flooded on the bank in the morning. Not all doors keep danger out. Some keep danger in. And sometimes the door is the river. The Narayani has moods: flood, famine, silence. She has buried shrines and carried their names like stone in her throat. But when lightning splits the valley, she remembers. If you walk her banks at night, you may see the temple, you may hear the bells. But if you step inside, the river will close like a mouth, and you will not return. This has been Loom, Whispers at Midnight, stories for the sleepless hour, produced by the Nayampalli House, keepers of story, spirit, and shadow.